pay the bill. So
Okay.
I got internet
Rogers.
so we can talk.
That is amazing though. But what have you been doing though to kind of keep sane?
I've been watching way too much trashy television. That's the
I
truth.
mean, I wouldn't know anything about trashy television.
No,
So,
your claim to fame is definitely not exactly that.
guys, Jason said he doesn't want to watch my show because he doesn't want to waste his precious time.
No,
hmm
that's not what I
He
said.
said that right before we went on air.
No, that's not what I said. What I said was that I'm really into trashy TV lately, and I just watched The Circle. I'm not done yet. I still have to watch the finale. And then you said that then I had to watch Love is Blind. And I was like, I already watched Love is Blind. Then you had to watch your season. And
Right.
I said, there's so many episodes. And then you said,
Said I said you have lots of time on your hands.
yeah. And I said, but I don't want to waste it.
Okay. Can you guys see why I don't want to do this anymore?
You
Well,
love
that's good though,
it.
because it's good. We need a distraction. We need
It's
a
true.
little bit of a distraction. Um, I find that making a little plan every day, like a little list of things to do, has been helping me. Like eat breakfast, do laundry, do. Adam and I have been doing some yoga. He has to drag me to the living room, and I'm there like my yoga move.
So the same as all the time.
Right. But anyway, I do feel better after doing it. Once I'm done, I'm like, that was great. So I feel like keeping a routine, which I actually typically don't have a routine. I just kind of like go with the flow, like my whole life. So I have a little bit more of a routine right now, and I'm actually like looking forward to that routine. So that's kind of
Yeah.
nice.
Like brush your teeth, get a shower,
Right.
sleep in
Right.
bed and not on the couch. These are
Right.
things that I'm trying to keep focused on.
Right. And well, for me, I love just going out in the yard. I know we can't really go far, which is kind of weird. These restrictions that we've been under have been like evolving as we go.
Which is
So,
fair. I think our
yeah,
government's doing a really good job, actually.
great.
I really, if
I
it
cried when, yeah, I've cried over things that they've done well, and it just makes me very proud, not only to be a Newfoundlander, but to be Canadian, in that sense, with all what Justin Trudeau is doing to help either, everybody, and then small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and that kind of stuff has just been like, okay, you care because small and medium-sized businesses are what carry the economy. Like
oh
that's
my
like the
God, yes.
spine of the economy, us putting back our disposable income into the small, medium-sized businesses, and that's huge because from there up, it's all corrupt.
Well, I mean, money is useless if it doesn't move around. It
Right,
holds no value if it's not exchanged for goods or services. So an
right,
economy, by definition, only exists if money is moving around. And if
yeah,
small and medium-sized businesses close, then it's kind of like real estate in that if nobody buys the entry-level home, nothing else can sell because those people need
yeah,
to move up, and those people need to move up, and those. So
yeah.
this the I'll
The
call it.
starter home, they build a bigger home, and then you're more successful in your career, and then you're able to get a better home, and just keeps everything moving.
You have too many kids and then you got to move again and then you divorce and then you get in a family with somebody
You're back to square one.
right
You do
like
it all again.
exactly, and you're in like a one bedroom apartment, but it all works out. It's fine.
It does.
So, as a small business owner yourself, I
Yeah.
mean, are you looking at that $40,000 loan from the government, 10 grand of which might not be repayable just to
I I have considered it, definitely. I think it's important to consider it. I think I'm gonna try to avoid it, possibly if I can,
but you're
just
not paying
because
a lot of salary either, are you? Like you got a lot of college
no,
yeah.
exactly. So for me and having that, I just don't think it's worth having another $40,000, or having, we don't have any debt, so having $40,000 worth of debt, or maybe even 30. I won't do it unless I have to. But it's also smart maybe to have a little cushion for businesses if you need something to kind of fall back on. I understand that. And even the fact that they're pushing GST and HST and allowing that stuff to be paid a little bit later is really helping. I know it's helping me out. So either way, it's going to be good. It's going to be fine for me. Definitely stressful, of course, stressful for myself and my staff, but I'm going to look into everything that's available to me. I think that's only smart.
No, absolutely it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sort of doing the same because I mean, it is sort of uncertain. I mean, I do a lot of this Roger stuff, but most of this is just because I love the community and I like to help people tell stories. Like, it's not a financially viable thing. If all I did was this, I mean, I'd lose my house pretty fast. But and so helping people buy and sell houses, I mean, like you have thought in the past about selling your house. Would you want a bunch of strangers tramping through there now?
No, no,
Right?
no,
So I'm
no.
a little bit dead in the water kind of until things start to change a little. So I just got to take any bit of money I got and squirrel it away so that I can feed my
Yeah.
little girl. Like, I'm not fancy.
Which no, 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 no. I think we're both pretty reasonable with our fancy level. We're like a low fancy level.
I mean, I'm lower than you. I buy my wine in a bag, Sam. Like,
It's
I'm
fine.
very,
It's
very low
fine.
fancy.
It's fine. Fine. But that is something I did want to touch on, how a lot of businesses do have to evolve. And I read an article last night and it was talking about how this is going to be a new normal for us. So if people are trying to really quickly adjust to throwing everything online and then forgetting about the way that they used to do business, it's kind of smart, kind of not. So you do need to prepare to have things change, but it doesn't you don't need to rush and do it, because this is something that's probably going to change for a long period of time.
Yeah, and like, realistically, this could be controversial. And I mean it. It comes from a place of love because I want everyone to be happy and I want everyone to be successful. But I spend a lot of time in the entrepreneurship community here locally, and I've spoken and coached at different events and spoken about branding and marketing. You and I have had a lot of business related conversations.
Yeah.
If a global health pandemic was what it took for you to start to think about e-commerce for your product business,
Yeah.
you were already kind of behind.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it's not kind to think about, but it is much like nature. There is a survival of the fittest. That's what capitalism is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and meritocracy. So like, you get what you deserve to receive. Like, if you want to
100%.
buy a house and you don't ask me to help you, that's my fault, not yours.
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
wasn't good enough in whatever I did for you to understand the value I was providing.
Yeah.
So that's hard. I'm not saying small businesses aren't suffering, because it's been a hell
Well,
of.
I can relate to that directly, because for me, I was just so proud of my brand because it attracted such good service providers, and I mean the best.
Oh, the people
And
who work out of your studio, you mean? Yeah.
right, the purple people who work with me, but when I don't have that, I just have the brand itself. So that for me is very important, and it's allowed me to learn and adapt that I really need to work on my branding and make this something more about the brand, which I know it's a good brand. I know that. But I need to focus more on the brand and less about the work, because if I could have an amazing, incredible group of people that do fantastic work and a hugely successful brand that people want to wear, I mean, I feel like I've got it all covered at that point, you know?
This is such an interesting conversation. I had, not this past fall, but the fall before, I did a bunch of interviews down at Iceberg Alley. And one of the bigger shows that came to town then, Serena Ryder was there, 5440 was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I interviewed 5440 after they did their sound check on a night of their performance. And we were just talking, because they've been around, oh, they've been constantly getting hits for decades, right? I actually
Mm-hmm.
said to them, like, when are you guys gonna call it quits?
Stop. Yeah.
And they said, Well, the Stones started 20 years before us, so we'll stop when 20 years after the Stones stop, is basically what he said, which is a massive
Fair.
thing. But I started asking them about how the industry had changed, and that's
Mhm.
exactly what they said. And they said this almost, well, a year and a half ago now, that they don't sell music anymore. Now they sell the brand of 5440. And
Yeah.
the bigger the brand can be, because they don't make their money off of CD sales,
Right.
right? That's not what it is anymore. So I
Right.
think you're right. And I think it would be kind of cool of you and I, who, as a couple of people who are brand and marketing focused, who
Yeah.
are local entrepreneurs and own smaller businesses,
Yeah.
why don't we have a moment to just rap a bit about what we would tell other businesses to do from a branding
Yeah.
point now to help
Yeah.
moving forward?
So for me, I know one thing that's really important is being present. So when you logically think about what everyone is doing at this time, we know that we can't go out. We know that we're not socializing or going to dinners or at parties. So for the most part, internet and technology has been a huge part of our lives for the last 20 years, at
Yeah.
least the last 15 hugely,
Yeah.
right? So I would say if you don't have an online presence, that is where you should focus first.
Well,
For
if you don't have a social presence now, is it
yeah.
too late for you?
I don't think it's too late because even though your brand may have been, and I don't even know why I air quoted because it's still a brand, even though it's not on social media. But if your brand has been around for a while, it's almost like reintroducing it to the social media world is like giving it a new birth. I don't think it's too late. I think it's a chance to kind of like revamp it or, open your eyes, make it available to another audience that maybe hasn't seen it before.
I think that's really astute, actually, because you have a captive audience right now.
Yeah.
Like, I think if I was reading an article, I mean, this isn't about social media as such, but if you look at streaming websites, like whether it be Netflix or Disney Plus or YouTube or Pornhub, like regardless of what it is, everybody's views are way, way, way up right now.
Huge. I've gotten like 3 or 4 thousand more followers. No, sorry, that's not true. I've gotten a lot of followers over the last little while, and it's because everyone's just there, right? And
Yeah.
I'm being more active, so other people are being more active. Um, I gotta give a shout out to Olivia Crane because she's been really offering. She has this company called Amplified Marketing, I think it
Oh,
is.
I'm familiar. Yep.
Yeah, so she's been offering a lot of valuable content to her viewers, and she's really keen on the online marketing, online branding. And I think a few things I watched one of her videos, and a few things she said was to have an online presence, be consistent, don't necessarily go back to your like usual content, switch it up for what we're going through right now, like make it relative to
Yeah.
what we're experiencing. And it was someone else, I can't remember who said this. This guy I follow, Scott Olford. I don't know if you know him. He's from here,
From
but he's now
grandfather.
in LA. And he was saying people now want to be shown what you can do, not you don't tell them, you show them. Like
Yeah.
you
So what
show them.
I'm such a big fan of storytelling and
Mhm.
of authenticity and being true to who you are, whatever your actual true north is, and going all in on that. So
Yeah.
everybody's afraid to turn away business, but I learned after 6 or 7 years in real estate of trying to reverse engineer how to behave to make every other personality happy. I learned that
Happy.
that's exhausting and it's not
Yeah.
sustainable. And there's
Yeah.
enough business to go around for everybody.
Everyone.
I'll focus on who our target audience is. So that's why I'm unapologetically myself. I talk about my mental
Yeah.
health. It's like, look at the mug I'm drinking out of. Like, like
Yeah,
it's not hard to see the truth about who I am as a person. So I'm
yeah.
not afraid that I won't get business from somebody who doesn't like me because I know that
Yeah.
the people who do really do. So being truly authentic about who you are, what your why is, and why you want to be in, I think that's probably the best advice that I could give to
Yeah.
anybody who's struggling in
Yeah.
business right now is just to start talking about the truth.
Truth. Be authentic at the end of the day, and that is so important. I'm really glad you brought that up, because for me and my own particular brand, sometimes I'm like, what is my brand? Like, I have one thing that's myself, Samantha Picco, and then I have another thing which is the studio, and they're both, extensions of who I am, and the studio is. So sometimes I'm like, how do I keep it separate, but how do I bring it together? So at the end of the day, being true, being real, and being honest has always led me in the right direction. It's
It always,
never ever failed me, not one time ever in my life. At not being true to myself has never led me down the wrong path, ever,
and
never.
if anybody else has watched The Circle, they'll know that being truly authentic and being yourself is the way to go. And
Okay, so because you get to you can catfish people and stuff,
you
right?
can catfish people. Okay,
Okay,
so
I don't want to talk about trash TV because this is not trash TV. I do want to talk about one thing that you made. You mentioned that was a very, very important point when you are trying to be your authentic self and realize that. I know I'm talking a lot. We're gonna run out of time. I know that the key is knowing that there's lots for everybody. Because that's the key. When you said that, that was really easy for you to say, but it's really difficult for people to get to that point when they're like, if I stop people pleasing and just be true to myself, the right people will show up and that I will still survive financially with my
yeah.
business, basically.
So for me, that comes from personal experience. Like I gotta have all the deals, gotta have all the deals. I mean,
Yeah.
stupid. A healthy market here locally, we're not a big market. We'll do between 2,500 and 3,000 deals when things are cool. I could
Mm-hmm.
never do all of those.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably top out at, without hiring a team, I already have an assistant, without having a whole team of realtors, I don't know if I'd ever get past 50 or 60. Like it's
Yeah.
a lot of work. So
Yeah.
there's a ton of business to go around. Just
Mm-hmm.
because you're making money doesn't mean you're taking it out of my pocket. And
Right.
that's this ridiculous thing that drives me nuts about
Yeah.
people sometimes. They're like, well, he's not making no money off of me. I'm gonna change my own oil. But
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, I
drives me
understand. And
nuts.
Newfoundland's a small place. It can be oversaturated. I know the beauty industry, there's a ton of beauty salons. There's a million lash artists, a million brow artists. But I think what sets brands apart is the brand. And you'll resonate more with a brand. You'll relate to a brand a little bit more. Maybe the owner's a little bit like you. Maybe
Yeah.
the owner is, someone that you respect. And maybe the
And
owner is someone you don't respect. And so you won't go there.
and meritocracy. The people who
Yeah.
are the best will get
Yeah.
the attention,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. Your season of Big Brother, how
Mm-hmm.
does it rate viewings wise versus other seasons historically?
It was a top rated season.
Meritocracy.
I'm the best.
No, I was talking about Adam.
So apparently the Leafs were not in the playoffs and something else happened. That's why our ratings were so high.
The
Because
Leafs.
it's all related to what's going on at that time. So the Leafs didn't make it. The Leafs or the Habs, neither of them made it to the playoffs
No,
last year, right?
the Leafs did. They went out in Game 7 of the first round against Boston.
Okay, so, and that usually happens like March,
A little later.
later in March, early May. Yeah, that would make sense. Or early April, that would make sense because
But no, the
well,
Habs
as soon
did
as
make
I
it.
left the show, the ratings went down, so it's fine.
Okay. We don't have as much time as we want to have because this always happens. We both had sort of devised little conspiracy theories about now. Okay, let's preface this. We're not
Okay,
making fun.
right.
We are not making
And
fun. One
and
of
we are not making out. We're not like saying this is true.
no. It's an interesting little philosophical thought experiment to,
Right.
when you're isolated to think about the inception of COVID-19
Right.
and how it happened and just trying to connect the dots and have something fun to talk about. We're not making light of a global health pandemic. That is not what is
No.
happening.
How
How
much time do we have?
I got 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll throw mine out really quick because yours, I actually think yours is like a good one. So
Okay,
my
go.
conspiracy theory was that this was a handmade virus that they released into the wild in order to lessen the population and throw the economy into like an upside down situation where it all has to sort itself out. So
So
part of me feels like it was definitely a conspiracy because Netflix put out a show called Pandemic like 3 months ago.
yeah,
That
yep.
weirded me out. Okay, I just feel like I think there's some big money that was moved around right before, like stocks. People were pulling their money out of certain stocks early on before everything got crazy. Maybe these people were just psychic. Who knows? But something's going on. But yours is better. What's yours?
Okay. I only got 4 minutes, so I'm gonna try.
Oh shit!
So I think that COVID-19 was caused by me and JP Sachs. So JP Sachs, JP Sachs is the singer that sings that song "If the World Was Ending, You'd Come Over," right?
Right,
You come over and
right.
stay the night, all our fears.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So that's one thing.
Okay.
The other thing is, I have a very, very firm belief that we can accomplish whatever we want to as long as we have our heads right about how we do it. And a part of
Yeah.
that is that there is value in the physical properties of the universe and understanding physics and knowing that like attracts like, and it is a real thing. So,
Real force.
yeah, when I bought my new car a little while ago, I got a Subaru WRX, blue one. Never seen so many WRXs in my life as when I had it on my mind, right?
Yeah.
And then it's so
Yeah.
much more noticeable, right? So like when you spend a lot of time focusing on things, the universe finds a way to make it happen. Okay,
True.
I believe that. That's true. And maybe on another show, I'll give a handful of examples how it has happened in my life. Back to
Right.
the song. I think everybody, like hundreds of millions of people, in listening to that song, have the fantasy that the song portrays. You think about an
Being
individual,
with your loved ones that you've lost, or right.
or the one that got away, or whatever the case is, right? The thing
Right.
that couldn't happen. So I think simultaneously, myself, for one, and I told this person that I'm like, this song reminds me of you. Like this,
Mm-hmm.
can I come to your place if the world ends? Like this is so.
Yeah.
And she agreed. We had the same thought. So I'm having this fantasy every time I hear that song, and it's on constantly.
Yeah.
So are hundreds of millions of other people at the exact
Such a
same time.
strong force.
A massive force, and now suddenly COVID
So
19.
our desires created COVID-19.
Because we wanted like the romantic sexual fantasy of being with that one that we couldn't have and not
Mm-hmm.
having to worry about it ending poorly because there
Mm-hmm.
was no risk. All our
Yeah.
fears would be irrelevant is the line from the song. Okay, we got a minute and a half left, so discuss.
I think that's really powerful because I feel like it's the power of positive thinking, and it's like going back to like the thing about the secret and the force of
Yeah.
power of positive thinking. It can also happen with negative thoughts too. If you're always in that negative mindset, then everything's gonna happen to you. You're gonna have a shitty
Well,
day. You're gonna have these things.
the
I
universe
think it's really
doesn't care.
powerful.
The universe doesn't care if
No,
it's good or
it
bad.
gives you what you ask for. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
without fail.
important. That's
So I'm
good.
really sorry. It was me and
Jason,
Jason.
blame Jason, guys. Jason did this. He did it.
Again, we're not making fun. This is
No.
obviously really, really a very heavy thing. Thousands and thousands of global deaths, one death locally. But I heard a really good comedian one time was asked if they felt like, and he was always on the edge, right? Do you feel like there's a joke that's like too bad to make, a topic that's too bad to joke about? And he said, saying that there's a topic that's too bad to joke about is like saying that there's a disease that's too bad to try and cure. Because
Oh, I like
if you
that.
can find bright spots in dark
Yeah,
days, that's a good
it's
thing.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we made somebody smile or laugh today. That'd be cool.
So
We smiled and laughed, so
time really that we're actually winding down the conversation at an appropriate time. Do you want to say
I
goodbye
know.
in 10 seconds?
Yeah. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Stay strong. We got you. Our DMs are open. Follow Sam and Jason Unfiltered on Instagram.
And wash your damn hands. And we'll
Wash
see
your
you
hands.
guys again soon.
The following program is brought to you by Rogers Anyplace TV. Enjoy exclusive content for free. Visit RogersAnyplaceTV.com.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
How to protect yourself and others. What's changing across Canada and around the world. Get all the information you need during the COVID-19 crisis on CPAC, cpac.ca, and all our digital platforms.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy DC, and I am the Thursday night host of St. John's local tradition, Out of the Fog. You know, local matters here on the show, and from arts and business, not-for-profit, anybody doing anything great to make our province a more rewarding place to live and work. It all happens right here in the studio. So join me and my boy DJ Slim Macho every Thursday night for Out of the Fog.
The economic impact of COVID-19 has drastically affected food banks across Canada. Many only have enough food for the next 2 weeks. But when you donate to Food Banks Canada, every dollar can be stretched further to help our fellow Canadians, your neighbors who are in need. It's time to step up to the plate and donate. Please give what you can at foodbankscanada.ca.